Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today I want to talk about something that is just absolutely mind-blowing to me, man. Like, this article came across my timeline on Twitter, and the moment I saw this, I was just completely perplexed because, like, I just immediately saw through this, right? And I was honestly stunned that anyone would try to kind of, like, frame what happened here in the way that it was framed. Like, it's almost as if the way that this is all written is, like, more or less defensive of what this woman did. I don't know, but I definitely thought it was pretty weird how, regarding what this woman ended up doing, like, there's this certain angle people are trying to take where it's, oh, well, she said it was an accident. She accidentally did this and she got tricked and whatnot, right? So there's people like, I don't want to say defending it, but they're almost like making this seem like it's better than what it actually is. Like, oh, it's not as bad as you think. It was an accident. Like, I don't understand how something like this, quote unquote, accidentally happens, right? Like, I just don't understand how that really is something that happens pretty much at all, right? I mean, we've seen some of these OnlyFans models do some pretty nefarious shit, right? Like, there's been insane cases of different content being made and put up on OnlyFans by these people, right? Like, it's not as if this is the first ever controversial OnlyFans star or anything like that, but so there's an OnlyFans model who is now, I guess, quote-unquote dealing with controversy because of some content that she made for her OnlyFans. So you might be sitting here thinking, oh, well, what did she do, right? Did she, I don't know, film something to NSFW for her page or whatever? Well, nah, she slept with a minor. Yeah, I don't really know any other way that I can put that. She slept with a minor. I mean, let's just call it what it is. Now, the discussion around this whole topic has basically, I feel like, been clouded. I don't understand how people don't really come to the same conclusion that I have on this one. I mean, I understand some people do, but, like, I don't get why people are trying to beat around the bush of what exactly happened here, man. So we've seen plenty of weird OnlyFans stories over the years, such as teachers filming content on students' desks and models getting copyright strikes from IHOP, but this may be the strangest story yet. Italian OnlyFans star Michelle Comey gave her followers the opportunity of a lifetime to be in a video with her for content, but the viewer she ended up picking was actually underage. According to the model, after several selections, she ended up choosing the fan and met with him to record the video, but only after doing so discovered the truth about his age, okay? So, yeah, this is criminal. I don't care what anyone said. This is just criminal, man. So she was filming an OnlyFans video of her basically screwing one of her fans, right? And she picked this fan who, I guess, got the opportunity of a lifetime or whatever to fuck, and he pulled up and he did the deed or whatever, never told her that he was underage, and she, I guess, didn't verify his age or anything, just kind of, I don't know, let the dude come over and hit. I have no idea how this whole thing really went down, but at the end of the day, what's really important here is she didn't verify this kid's age, right? Like, she just kind of slept with a fan and it turned out to basically be a minor. Now, you're gonna notice that there's some pretty interesting phrasing about this entire thing, and I'm gonna refer back to the same kind of point throughout this video repeatedly. I'm gonna just bring it up here for the jump. Can you imagine if this was a male OnlyFans star that picked an underage female to film a porn video with and then distribute it on his OnlyFans page? That man would already be in jail. The guilty verdict would have been brought back in 20 minutes by the jury. The judge would have sentenced him to the harshest punishment possible. This motherfucker would have been in jail, and rightfully so, right? Like, there's no reason that this should really ever happen. I mean, how do you not make sure the person that you're sleeping with is of age or of a legitimate age to be doing something like that, right? So in a TikTok video translated by the Irish Mirror, Comey explained she hadn't had her fans sign the paperwork until after the video was filmed and didn't realize he hadn't turned 18 yet. Quote, he skipped his year of birth, 2005, he said. For obvious reasons, the video cannot be distributed. In fact, it really shouldn't exist, and indeed, it was canceled. The model went on to take responsibility, claiming that the whole situation was her fault and that she should have made him sign everything a lot sooner. Once again, I love the phrasing here. Oh, well, thank God, she went on to take responsibility for sleeping with a minor and filming a video of her doing it for her OnlyFans, which thankfully was not distributed or really posted in any way. She kind of realized, the flub, if you will, of sleeping with a child for a video, but the video was not distributed, which is a good thing, and obviously is probably going to prevent her from facing some pretty important charges with the legal system, but it's just crazy, like, oh, well, at least she took responsibility, like, she took responsibility for sleeping with this child and not making sure he was of of age before, you know, he ended up filming a literal porn video with her, right? She claims the whole situation was her fault. Like, yeah, no shit. She should be claiming the whole situation is her fault. How isn't the whole situation her fault? She's the one who picked the person, right? Like, out of all of the fucking simps or whatever that are paying this woman for her OnlyFans content, she picks this dude out of everybody, right? She meets up with him physically. She doesn't verify, like, you couldn't even be like, hey, can I see your fucking driver's license to make sure that you have, you know, your fucking birthday on you or something, right? Like, that was too hard. It's too hard to be like, hey, before we film a, you know, NSFW video for basically my porn site, maybe we should sign a little paperwork, you know, a little contract or something that, like, verifies who you are a little bit. Like, literally no precaution whatsoever. At, like, any point, man, this would be like, imagine the consequences if like a child walked in a gun store and just bought a shotgun, right? Or if he went up to some drug dealer and bought some fucking drugs. Like, dude, people would be freaking out about it, you know what I mean? But because this woman, quote unquote, accidentally slept with a minor for this video, you know, well, you know, accidents happen, you know, at least she caught the mistake before she posted it. Like, once again, I'm just gonna say it, man, if this was a man in any situation, right, and he filmed a quote-unquote consensual sex tape with what turned out to be a child, that dude would be sitting in jail, you know what I mean? Like, that guy's life would be completely fucking over with. Like, if literally pretty much any of us dudes were to have done some shit like this, they would be, yeah, they'd be fucked. And once again, rightfully so, right? Like, if you're in this, especially like this kind of profession where sex work is what gets you paid, you should at the bare minimum, like, understand, like, hey, I need to be very cautious about what I do. Maybe there should be a lot of paperwork involved because at the end of the day, this is my business. I mean, I am running a business here. Maybe I should verify the identities of the people that I'm fucking sleeping with. Now, if you think about this, right, like, of course the boy wasn't gonna say anything. I mean, like, this is a fucking teenage dude, you know, he's got this OnlyFans model who he is, I'm assuming, thinks attractive because he's like one of her subscribers or whatever. He's paying her for her OnlyFans content, right? That's how he got picked. So this dude already finds her, like, sexually attractive. You know, like, no teenage dude, well, most teenage dudes are not gonna be like, man, fuck it, I don't wanna, you know, screw this porn star that I really, really like, you know, like, of course he was never gonna say anything, and like, that's how it's being told, like, well, the kid didn't say his age, you know, if he didn't lie here, like, yeah, he did lie, you know what I mean, but at the end of the day, like, you have to take more responsibility as a grown adult, you know? Quote, I'm looking for a partner again now. The boy got smart, but I hope he at least enjoyed himself, she added. Since the controversy, Comey hasn't stayed out of the news for long. Recently, she and a fellow creator were spotted filming a video together in a grocery store, of all things. So far, it's not clear if the model will be facing any legal consequences for her actions or if the authorities are investigating the incident, but it should be noted that Italy's age of consent is 14. Nonetheless, this should serve as a good reminder for content creators to have fans sign contracts before they make videos together. Yep, there's the moral of the story, everybody, you know? Just a little slap on the wrist, right? You know, fuck charging this person who made child porn with a kid. Fuck charging them for anything, right? You know, that at least Italy's age of consent is 14. It just, like, the wording and the phrasing here is insane because, like, I know I'm referencing the double standard again, but, like, dude, this would not be how literally any outlet would be covering this if the roles were reversed. Like, if there was a dude who filmed an OnlyFans video with someone who was like 17, like a 17-year-old girl, said, oopsie daisy, I didn't check the paperwork before I, you know, fucked her and made a video of it, well, I hope she at least enjoyed herself. Dude, that girl's father would be hunting him down with a fucking 12 gauge to blow his head off. And could you really, I mean, fault the father in that situation? I don't really know. I mean, that's debatable, but, you know, if it's just some, you know, hot woman who's fucking a boy who's underage, you know, well, hopefully he enjoyed himself, and it's not clear if she'll face any legal consequences, but the age of consent is 14. Like, you would never, ever hear that if the roles were reversed. You would never hear, like, well, I mean, yeah, he slept with a 15-year-old girl, but I mean, the age of consent is 14 in Italy, you know? Like, no, that's, and rightfully so, because at the end of the day, like, that just shouldn't be something that happens. Whether it be in a professional environment or not, you shouldn't be falling into this fucking pit trap. You shouldn't be getting stuck in situations like this. You know what I mean? Like, this is not a normal thing to happen, right? This woman should face legal consequences. I mean, let's just call it what it is. Like, this woman should absolutely face legal consequences, as any man would. You know, if a fucking dude goes to jail for doing something like this, okay, that's fine. But let's hold everybody to the same standards regardless, right? Like, this, it doesn't matter that the age of consent is 14, which, by the way, that is fucking weird. Like, super weird. That's like a high school freshman, dude. That is insane to think, but I mean, I don't live in Italy, you know what I mean? Like, fuck it. It's not my business, not my problem, but, you know, the fact that that's what's being brought up here, it's like, well, the age of consent, you know, it made it okay. Like, no, dude, this is insane. And of course, you know, a lot of people online are calling this out. They're like, hey, this woman is a kid fucker, you know what I mean? Like, this woman should be reprimanded. This woman should face consequences. But dude, it's like, you hear any sort of like official outlet talk about it, and, you know, all they want to talk about is these fucking semantics that, frankly, don't make what happened any different. Like, I don't give a fuck if the age of consent made it technically legal or not legal or whatever. Like, this is weird, bro. You're filming content and you're letting minors get through, bro, and not checking their fucking paperwork. That's wild. It's insane, like, what people do, you know, like, the shit that people get themselves into. And I mean, apparently she's like really cautious now, you know, she's so careful that she's out fucking other OnlyFans stars in grocery stores for content. So I'm sure she's really learned her lesson about being careful with her content, you know what I mean? So with that being said, though, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel. Follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. Thank you to my Watch Optimus subscribers. Your support helps the channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, talking about this situation, which is nuts, by the way, and signing out.